What is the problem with saying, well, Satan tempted me and I was done this, and this happened in my life? What are you saying?
You're taking the blame off yourself when it is yourself and throwing it somewhere else.
You want your company because why? You want to make your decisions, right? You want to be in charge. You want to be responsible. This is admirable. But what does that mean? At the end of the day, who's responsible? You. You start blaming your employees. Well, this job didn't happen right, or I didn't have this. It's not your employee's fault. It's not this fault. It's all who? You. You want it. So the thing is that he says, before I was afflicted, I was led astray. Now, help me to understand something. There are scriptures that really talk about that nothing can happen to you outside of the will of God. So now we're introduced to this possibility that your affliction is the result of you being led astray. But what is the affliction designed to do?
Put you back on the right path.
So now we're shifting perspectives. If we're having trouble, now we need to say, what? Where did I go astray? But we should also be comforted by the fact, David, that if we're having an issue, or if we're having a trouble or a problem in our life, and we're having to go through these troubles and these pains and these hurts, this is God showing you, hey, David, I care. I'm putting this on the way I can teach you a lesson. Because whispering sweet nothings in your ear produces what for stupid people like me? Nothing. Nothing. It produces no fruit in people like me. I have to suffer. I have to hurt to learn the lesson. I love my daughter, and y'all have heard me say this. I love my daughter. But my daughter, the only way she can learn is through what? Suffering. Parents, it sucks watching your children suffer. But some of our children are what? Stupid. And the only way they're ever going to learn is through suffering. But the apple never falls far from the tree, does it? So when we call our kids stupid, we're basically saying the fruit that we produce, we just happen to be the stupid tree. They happen to be the stupid fruit. So here it is. He says, before I was afflicted, I went astray. He says, but now I have kept thy word. I learned my lesson. Thou art good and doest good, and teach me thy statutes. The proud have forged a lie against me, but I will keep thy precepts with my whole heart. Their heart is as fat as grease, but I delight in the law. Verse 71, this is the one. It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. So, what did the man say? It is good. So now we're saying something. When we're hurting, we're learning that our pain, now I'm talking about it's sometimes the physical pain, okay? I'm not saying, okay, as an example, it would be totally selfish of me to look at somebody like your mother, Chase, and say, well, Carrie, God is taking you through this pain. That would be an idiot to say something like that. That would be the most, I don't know how the word, that would be the most callous thing you could say to people. Well, you got to walk up, but that's the same lines. You got to learn how to deal with your pain. The person that says that right there is just, they are so devoid of human compassion. That is not what I'm talking about. I am talking about some deep-rooted emotional pain. Now, understand something, Lance. If you're in a hurry, I had a buddy of mine. He was in a hurry. He got mad. And somebody wasn't handing him the tool that he needed. So he's standing up on the rafters. And somebody had made a mistake and nailed the rafter in the wrong place. It was cold. He was bundled up. And by God, he's going to tell everybody how to fix it because he is the world's greatest framer. So this son of a gun jumped up there, and he jumped up there with a big old 15 pounds of sledgehammer. Guess what he did? he hauled off in anger and he swung that sledgehammer. It bounced off of the rafter, and guess what it hit? His shin. He was angry.
Did you laugh?
I wasn't there. I laughed though when I heard the story. I was like, yeah, that's some funny crap right there because it wasn't me. I remember the time I got mad at my sister, and I decided I'm gonna punch her through the window, Lance. So I did. I punched my sister through the window. She didn't pull the glass out of her hands. Guess who pulled the glass out of her hands? Me. She didn't suffer because she seen me running. What do you think she's going to do? She took off. But still, I had to prove the point. So yes, there is pain that you've done that because I call it stupid pain. Stupid pain. Worked a little boy at our home church, and he's sitting and I'm sweating this copper pipe, which means I got a torch. And David is hot. And this kid goes, "Is that hot?" I don't know. Grab it and see. What do you think he did? He grabbed it and sang. True story. Am I telling a lie? True story. He grabbed it and sang. He said, "Why did you tell me it's hot?" I said, "You stupid idiot. You see me, I got a torch. I'm heating this sun up. It's hot. And you grabbed it anyway." See, that's stupid pain. Learn from the stupid pain. Learn from the stupid pain. But we're not dealing with stupid pain. We're dealing with emotional pain. Which is why things happen. Why this season is so dark. It's because, again, we go through all these problems and all of our troubles and all of our trials and all these things that we're sitting here and we're dwelling upon. But remember, there are two types of pain. But did you know that's biblical? There's a pain that hurts. There's a pain that alters or heals, or that carries us through. There's two types of pain. I never knew this was in the Bible. Didn't know it.
Like a double-edged sword.
It is.
Right here, it can heal you.
But, typical of me, so he says, "It is good that I was afflicted." It was good. So now we look at this word, anah, which is the word afflicted, which is the same thing as pain. Afflicted. Afflicted. It was a thing that kept him. Paul had a thing that afflicted him.
Right.
He said that I prayed that God would take this thing from me. But if we back up, Paul learned, he says that, "I knew this man who had received a great revelation. But I was sent a messenger of Satan, a thorn in my flesh to keep me humble." See, sometimes we have our troubles and our trials to keep us what, David? Humble. To keep us in a situation to where we don't think more of ourselves. Because again, if we think the pursuance of wealth is the answer, the Bible clearly states that wealth is not the answer. It clearly states it. Why would we pursue wealth, Amber, when he says it is impossible for a rich man? Matter of fact, the dude wanted to hang out with Jesus, wanted to follow him, didn't he? He wanted to follow Jesus.
Yeah, but he wouldn't give his stuff up.
And he said he was downcast. He just wouldn't. Because he couldn't give it up. He couldn't give it up. Then why do we kill ourselves pursuing what we can't take anyway? What good is that? None. So now, let's back off that. So anah means to be occupied. In other words, your mind is always occupied. You ever notice when you have troubles and trials, where's your mind at? Always on your troubles and trials. Which led to be depressed, you're being put down, you're oppressed, you're humble. That's what the word means, anah. Now, we find out it's from the root word, anah. And I was like, okay, what's the difference in the words? Same words. Same words. Which means to answer, to respond, they should testify, to sing, to dwell. Well, what is that? Here here, Anah, it paints this picture. This is your knuckles dragging the ground. So, I caught myself last night.
I'll see it now, okay.
This is my graphic art. I went to graphic art design school. I caught myself last night because I've got an area in my life that I need to work on, but it's hard. It is really hard for me to do this. And this is, if I am working, and then you call me when I'm working trying to get something done, I don't want to work all the time, Ty. I hate to work all the time. But what I also hate is I hate looking at my house, David, and seeing things undone. When somebody walks in my house and you walk into your house and the first thing you see is undone. What does it say about everything else in your house? It's undone. I want my house done. You would think by now, Lance, that my house would be done. Well, now, if you keep dealing with the fact that we keep adding on, we got the world's biggest tiny house. And so here we are, but the thing is that every version of our tiny house gets even better. And I get excited about it. But yet I want to get done so I can enjoy. We've been building a coffee bar. That if we ever have a guest come over, the only thing you got to do if you ever come to our house, you got to read one sign that's on the coffee bar. What does it say? Yes, there is a sign.
Only by.
No, please leave by 9.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Well,
in morning too. But the thing is that we wanted this thing. We've been wanting this coffee bar. So we've been going to different versions. We finally got it. Now we're almost able. The coffee machine will be here next week. So we'll be able to have good coffee and sit out there and enjoy the coffee bar. And so this guy calls me right in the middle of my peak productive time because I've now got everything going. I've got everything going my direction because there ain't nothing worse. Every time you start a job at your house, what happens? It leads to another job. And you always throw in this little quick job. I knock this job out while I'm there. Well, we've had this thing behind the stove that we wanted to do. But also, I knew the winter's coming. We got this weather. So what do I got to do? Our little inside stove has not been working right. In case we lose power, we got to have heat. So now I got to fix that. So that means I got to fix my tank. So everything leads to everything else. So I've got all this other stuff done. I decided, hey, I'm going to build this little wall here. So I built this little wall here. Got this little wall built up. Well, the problem is, build this little wall, I've now got my outlet. It's going to be stuck in a 1/2 inch inside of my wall. In the past, you know what I've done? I just cut that sucker out. You just had to reach through there. But you know how ghetto that looks? It looks ghetto. Fix it. You're never going to have a better time now. So you got to stop. You got to fix this thing. Which also means that I've got to run this wire. While I'm doing this thing, I'm going to do all this stuff. So I get all of it done, get everything else laid out, Kai. Now I'm in the point to where fat guys that are we have a hard time getting up off the ground. I don't have a problem getting down there. I can fall down pretty good. And I told Amber, I said, Amber, I'm just about to come out of the ground. Which meant that now I'm getting ready to make some progress. So I got it built, got it all taken care of. And now I'm in there and this guy calls me. I'm like, Lance, it's right in the middle of a pour. Somebody texts you. I've worked with people that while I'm trying to put their fuel tank in their vehicle, they get a phone call and both of them leave me and stand there holding the fuel tank over my head, and they answer their phone. They're talking to his wife, and the boy's involved with it. And I'm standing there holding this stupid fuel tank over my head by myself. And you know what they're discussing? Pizza tonight. Tonight. Not even bringing pizza up there that I'm doing something for them for free. They're talking pizza tonight. And I finally let go of this thing. I said, well, wait a second. I said, are y'all stupid? I'm doing this thing not for me, but for you. And you want to talk about phones? Heck no, do it yourself. I'm done. So I don't answer the phone when I'm working because I don't want to work. They say that there is a way to do it. You give the laziest guy you know the hardest job, he'll find the easiest way to do it. I happen to be that person. I'm the laziest guy I know. So I have to